Namaste Seekers, welcome to Punneit Astrology, your one-stop astro channel. We know that Jupiter is about to go retrograde in the sign of Capricorn on 14th of May 2020. While Jupiter is retrograde in the sign of Capricorn, just before that, Saturn is also going retrograde on 11th of May 2020, and in between, Venus is also going retrograde. So a lot of events are happening in the month of May, but we will try to analyze that planet by planet in different videos. In this video, we will discuss about Jupiter and its effect of retrogression. So guys, stay tuned till the end of the video so that you get to know all about this transit. And do not forget to hit like, subscribe and share and hit the bell icon so that you never miss another update. Jupiter is going to go retrograde in the sign of Capricorn. Capricorn is the zodiac which is ruled by Shani, Saturn, and Saturn is also going to go retrograde just before Jupiter. Now, this is a very unique combination of retrogression. Not only the planet in a zodiac is retrograding, the lord of that zodiac is also retrograding. So it's a double retrogression happening all at once, and it will definitely create explosive. By explosive, I mean very, very interesting scenarios in our life, and this is going to definitely change our life in many ways we can even imagine. So, how to interpret this particular movement of Jupiter? Jupiter, on one hand, is going retrograde in the sign of Capricorn, which is the debilitation sign of the Jupiter. It will move across Capricorn, go back to its zodiac of Sagittarius once again, and it will meet Ketu, and this time Ketu is in Mula Nakshatra. Not only that, the Rahu, which is in front of Jupiter, will go into Mrigashira Nakshatra. So that will also have intense amount of influence. Saturn, on the other hand, is also going to go retrograde, but although it will not go back to Sagittarius, it will be retrograding in the sign of Capricorn. So the entire Saturnian space is going unusual. Retrogression means vakri, that means something which is deviated, something which is crooked, something which is not in its original shape. So Jupiter is definitely going to go back to Sagittarius while it was in Capricorn and while it was learning. Now Jupiter is Guru, and in Capricorn, Jupiter tries to learn the art of execution. When it goes back to Sagittarius, it delivers the message in the sign of Sagittarius. It delivers to the core. Now let us treat it like this. Suppose you are trying to build something in the garage, and now you have dug a hole, and now you go deep inside that hole and plant the seed. So Jupiter, while learned the art of growing a tree in the sign of Capricorn, because it was restricted by the energies of Shani, now goes back to its own house of Sagittarius, and it plants the seed of information, the seed of knowledge, the seed of wisdom. Now, how is it working? Jupiter, while it is in the sign of Capricorn, is actually restricting you in many ways than you can even think of. You are already compromising in certain aspects. You may be working in a direction which you never wanted to. You are already focusing too much of energy in one area of life, and some other areas of life are being sacrificed. All of humanity is forced to learn right now, forced to reconsider its decisions, reconsider all the factors that makes us humans. Jupiter, while it is in Capricorn, will be knowledge which is restricted to a certain format, and your application will also be restricted in that certain format. So first of all, try to judge. Are you tied up with something? Are you feeling some kind of burden? Are you doing something which is unwanted and not needed, but you are doing it because maybe you think it will work out, or maybe you have no other option? In both the cases, when Jupiter goes back to Sagittarius, these things are going to unfold itself, and you will be like, I want to get out of this. Because Jupiter, when goes into Sagittarius, it will again start heating up and it will again try to gain the potential, but not before it works with Ketu to plant the seed deep inside your mind and heart. So whatever the changes are there, the normal is going to be redefined. A new normal will come in each one of our life, which is kind of obvious. That normal will be redefining the structure on how we deal with our life's problems, how we approach life, how we see life as a whole. Jupiter, once it goes to the sign of Sagittarius, it will start giving you the feeling that enough is enough. Now I want to work towards the basics. I want to go back to the drawing board. Things are not working and I need to rework on a lot of factors of our life. So how can you ascertain? How can you find that? Either talk to an astrologer to understand, or by yourself, if you know a bit of astrology, you just try to find out in which house Sagittarius and Pisces zodiac are present. For example, are they in the first and fourth house, or they are in fifth and eighth house, or they are in seventh and 10th house? Just try to find that out, figure that out. Once you have figured that out, try to write down the attributes of those houses. Then you see, have you made any kind of compromises, compulsive decisions, kind of restricted actions, you can say forced actions towards any of those attributes of these two houses? And if you have, as soon as Jupiter goes retrograde, you will start having a feeling of coming out or putting an end to all those compromises. Now, I'm not talking about a positive compromise that each one of us do in the regular daily day-to-day life, but I'm talking about something which is major, something which is impacting life in a very larger scale. So you have to understand that. Obviously, financial impact we will have to face. Marital impacts will also be one key theme in the retrogression of Jupiter. A lot of people would want to come out of marriage. A lot of people would reconsider the decision of investments. A lot of people will reconsider, which is kind of obvious, but here is the planetary reason for this. The retrogression of Jupiter also ensures that you should not take up any new task unless it is emergency, or unless it has been planned from a very long time and you have consulted an astrologer to look at your Mahadasha and Antardasha if the planets favors you. Once it goes to the sign of Sagittarius, the first thing that happens is that it finds Rahu in Mrikshira and Ketu in Mula. So Ketu in Mula is already working towards absorption. It is absorbing, it is sinking, it is taking you to the roots. It's already making you worked up, charged up, and it is cutting the roots and replanting roots into another, you can say, into another field. So a lot of people will change the orientation of their work. A lot of people's approach will change. Your approach is going to change towards life. Your perspective towards life itself is going to take a huge shift. The world may go a bit orthodox. A lot of things will reverse in the Jupiter retrogression. So you should be very careful. If you're starting something, it will get reversed. There's a very high chance. And you need not to put yourself into a situation where you are putting your time, effort, and money in some new act, which will have a very high chance that it will not work out once Jupiter goes direct. When Jupiter and Ketu will come together, it will immediately form a very strong spiritual yoga, a very strong, you can say, sadhu yoga, because Jupiter is wisdom, Ketu is moksha. And when you go to the roots, you would want to eliminate problems from your life right from the root. This also means that your focus will directly go to the problem, which also means that the problem will create pain in your life. So I'm not saying that this is going to be easy. As soon as the retrogression happens, a lot of pain, problems, hidden things will start popping out, and definitely you would want to get rid of it as soon as possible. So if things are bad, it can become worse. So you need to be very, very cautious, very, very careful. It's nothing to be scared of. It's just that you have to be alert. It's just that you have to be receptive to these kind of information. And once you have this kind of events, try to work towards it. Try to find a consolidated solution once for all. It's like a once for all solution. What is the role of Rahu in the Jupiter retrogression? If you see, the entire Gemini and Sagittarius axis will go retro. All planets in this axis are retrograding. Rahu Ketu is by default retrograde. Jupiter also begins retrogression. The entire Gemini and Sagittarius axis is actually the 3-9 axis, which is the axis of dharma and the effort. So you will have you will basically revisit your belief system. You will revisit the very basic core principles that you have made in your life. It will be shattered, it will be bended, it will be recreated in your life, and you will have to deal with such kind of compulsive scenarios. So be ready to bend yourself, be ready to change and become flexible in your life. Your approach should not be stubborn. Ego will be crushed like anything. So any kind of ego, any kind of you can say, I would better say ahamkar, arrogance is going to break through, and a new phase of life, a new reality will emerge, and that reality will be the new normal. Rahu in the Mrikshara nakshatra is also going to have its energy all over the place. So the stimulus is going to not come from one direction, but it is going to come from multiple directions. And that is where the problem lies. If something is wrong, it is going to be a cascade failure. Therefore, you have to have a very close watch on all the events, and especially the houses that rules Jupiter. On the other hand, if you see, Saturn is also playing a very important role in this retrogression. Why? Because Saturn is the zodiac when the lord of the zodiac when the retrogression of Jupiter begins. This also means that in order to deliver the information to you, in order to reach out to you, Jupiter is going to take unusual means. So a lot of surprise events will happen in your life. A lot of things will be like you never really wanted, but you have to do this. A lot of compulsion will come. Don't be afraid, don't be scared, nothing to be scared of, but you must understand one thing. If you are alive in this time frame, that means you were meant to go through this. It's a kind of a disinfecting time frame, you can say. With this retrogression happening with the Jupiter, the Jiva Karaka also goes retrograde. So that gives you a hint on what is going to happen on the global scale. And once it goes with the Ketu, everything starts resetting. So resetting of everything will happen. A lot of changes on the mundane level will happen. A lot of tough decisions will be taken at a very ground level and on the global scale. So if you're thinking the world is going to go back to the same place, it will not actually. In fact, it will become a better place to live. We all hope for that. And on the other hand, if I talk about the attributes of Jupiter, so Jupiter rules Jnana, Jupiter rules wisdom, Jupiter rules marriage, it defines prosperity, it also defines body fat. So you have to be very careful towards your health, towards marital issues. A lot of marriages will see making and breaking scenarios happening in their life. A lot of couples will face these kind of scenarios. So you need to adjust yourself. You need to recalibrate. So I would say Jupiter retrogression is all about recalibration of your life. Next, if you see from the Kal Purush perspective, you see that in the sign of Sagittarius, Jupiter is going to be with Ketu, which is going to be very implosive wisdom. It is going to be inward. It is going to be inner reflection of thoughts in a whole together different way. A lot of enlightening experiences will come in your life. A lot of realization will come in your life. So it will be less of lecture, but more of practical realization. Therefore, making scenarios in your life a bit difficult to deal. On the other hand, if you see from the Kal Purush, Jupiter rules the 9th house and the 12th house. 9th house is the Dharma. So the Dharma is going to take its position back now. With the Dharma, I don't mean religion. With Dharma, I mean the right path of leading the life. That is going to come across, and those kind of scenarios, those kind of conflicts will be all around the world, and you will see that that is going to be where the Dharma wants to take its place. The re-establishment of the Dharma will happen. Next, the 12th house is also going retro. 12th house Lord is going retrograde in the Kal Purush. This means that a lot of people will go back to their original places. A lot of people will migrate back to their original homeland. It will be kind of a reset, as if someone has run the time machine on the someone has run the reel of time, the film of time in the reverse direction, and everything is running backward. Does not mean that the world will go backward technologically or as per financial advancement, but if you have had a long belief that you are going to be the king, then it is going to be questioned by this planet. In case of marriage also, you have to have a lot of sacrifices done, and you need to question yourself, do I need to be in this scenario? Do I really want to be? Because that's the question that is automatically going to pop up. So if you have a weak Jupiter or a weak moon in your chart, then it can be a bit depressing for you. It can be a struggle, it can be a psychological battle in your case. So the information of the information of wisdom, I would say, in this way I will put it, the information of wisdom is going to be injected in your soul, because this is Ketu working in a very strong Mula Nakshatra and going towards the sign of Scorpio. So what I will definitely tell you is, because Rahu is in Mrikshira, this Rahu is going to be explosive, whereas Ketu is going to be implosive. So you will absorb a lot of influence from outside, and that may confuse you. So you need to apply your own brain, and you need to wait till the Jupiter goes direct to have a clear picture of the events and have a better understanding of your life. And at the end, I will definitely tell you that there is nothing to fear from this Jupiter retrogression. This is something which is very unique. This is something which is very influential in your chart. This is not like a usual retrogression that you see happening every year with Jupiter. This is Ativakri. Jupiter is going back and moving, running across to the sign of Sagittarius, which also inflames the diseases inside the body. So you have to be very, very careful with your health. Eat right, sleep right, stay at home, take a lot of protection, and always follow the right path, and always observe your karma, and especially what belief system you carry, what you feel that I know something. Whatever you know, you till today, whatever you thought you know about the world, you know about yourself, you know about family, you know about friends, is going to be questioned, is going to be revisited, it has to be re-evaluated, and it has to be recalibrated in a much better way. So I would say this is a great time for the world. Thank you guys. Thank you for watching Punneit Astrology. Next video will be on Saturn retrogression, where again I will add some effect of Jupiter retrogression and Rahu on top of that. And next videos will come on after the Saturn retrogression. It will be about Venus retrogression and Rahu in Mrikshira. So a lot of content coming soon. Stay tuned and do not forget to hit like, subscribe, and share so that you stay connected with me. This is your host Puneet. Namaste.